Hey, this is Stu, and I've got to tell you, I am damn happy to be coming to you right now from sunny Australia, because just a couple of days ago it was pouring with rain, pretty damn grey, miserable back in the UK, after really the best summer we've ever had. So grateful for that, but very grateful right now to be coming to you from Mermaid Waters, I believe it's called. So right now I'll just tell you a little story. So this place is beautiful. I won't do a tour or anything like that, but it's about a 3 million Australian dollar home on the water here, which I got booked for an absolute bargain, really last minute. We're out here for an event. I'm checking into a hotel on Thursday, and I decided to come out to Australia a week earlier, and went online a couple of days after I'd booked my flight, and had a look at what was available, and this came up, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. It was on booking.com, and it was £1,500 for 6 nights, like 7 days. And I was like, I've stayed in the Gold Coast before. I've rented, for when I had family out here, a big house like this, and it was a lot more than that. But it was there, and I booked it, and I thought it was booking.com. I didn't get my confirmation email. Anyway, flew out here, arrived here, thinking my confirmation email would be here. Wasn't there. Got onto booking.com, took about half an hour to get through to them. But when I got through, they were like, yeah, it's definitely booked, we'll send out the confirmation. And I was convinced by that point that it was something wrong, or a mistake, or some scam, or something like that. But it wasn't. Oh, check my mic's okay. And so here we are, steal of the century. It was booked out. Apparently the people cancelled last minute. They threw it up onto Booking to put someone else in because it was so last minute. They put it on at a really good price, and there's my luck, as you'll have it. So I've got Justin here, Alex staying with us, and yeah, enjoying every minute. So what I wanted to do anyway is not waffle for too much longer, is talk to you about my morning success ritual, we could call it. In other words, what I do in the morning when I get out of bed, and talk to you about, you know, some of the things I've learned in my own journey of trying to sort of perfect those mornings and get the most out of my morning, so I'm setting myself up for a really good day, a really productive day, and a day where I'm gonna just make stuff happen. And before I sort of go into this, I just want to preface that I'm not somebody that wakes up in the morning necessarily in amazing moods of positivity and confident that I'm going to crush the day. Some days I wake up, I feel super energized and happy and motivated and all the rest of it, and there are just other days that I just wake up, and I would just say it as in I get out the wrong side of bed for no reason whatsoever. I could have had a really good day before, had a really good night's sleep, I just wake up, maybe I'm just getting miserable, I don't know. But I just sort of wake up and I just you know when you're just not feeling it. And so for me, one of the best things about having a morning routine for myself and my sort of, I don't know, personality type, is that it sort of obliterates that negativity or that bad mood or just not feeling it or lower levels of energy, and then enables me to sort of thrive through the rest of the day. And it really does, it really makes such a difference, because let's say 3 days a week I wake up like that. If I don't deal with it, the chances of me having a successful day are pretty much zero, because I really do think the way that you start the day really often determines the way that you go on, the way that you mean to go on. And so I don't sort of share this video as in like it's a nice thing to do. For me, this has been crucial in sort of creating a best life and, you know, really making stuff happen and making your days you know, positive and successful. So that all said, a couple of things I want to sort of talk about is when I first thought about morning routines or rituals, I don't know if it was a video or some sort of Tony Robbins thing, I kind of heard about, you know, this idea of a morning routine, and everything I saw, all the blogs that I read, were about these like 74-step morning routines and how important it is to have a precise ritual and make sure you follow it and don't break the rules and, you know, all the rest of it. And so when I first put my routine together, there was probably like 20 odd things. I was exaggerating, by the way, when I said however many steps. But I had like these sort of 20 odd things, no joke. You know, times I was doing things, my workout, the time I was going to work out, what I was going to eat for breakfast, the specificity of what a healthy breakfast was. And on paper it seemed like a really good idea. And I kind of bounced in and out of morning routines for a couple of years because I knew they worked, but the problem I was having is I was kind of struggling to maintain them. And I think that one of the experiences I had is when you fail with something early on in the morning, in other words, you don't complete something that you know is good for you, it kind of sets the mindset of failure. It's kind of like, I haven't followed through, I'm not committed, you start beating yourself up. And I noticed this was happening with me. The days that I was completing them, it was a really good thing, but the days that I weren't, maybe I just wasn't really feeling it, maybe I did have a lower energy state and wasn't, prepared to do what it took. You could see that as weak, but or human. The other thing is I was finding is I travel a lot. I'm away a lot, events a lot, speaking a lot, holding different functions and all that kind of stuff. Just traveling for pleasure. And if I wasn't near a juice bar, which was part of my ritual, I couldn't get my juice. Or if I wasn't near a gym, it was like, am I going to have to grab an Uber or a taxi like miles and miles away to sort of complete my routine? And honestly, I kind of got into this business, this world, to kick back a little bit when I want to, not always, but just really have a flexible lifestyle, and having too much routine kind of was almost too extreme for me. But I think the main reason I got rid of the complex morning ritual, which I'm not even going to go into, was because, like I said, the days that I didn't complete it was almost like I was failing before I'd started. And so one of the things that I found to be really super productive for me in my morning routines, and something that's really served me very well, is keeping it simple. And so whilst you experiment with your routines, your rituals, if you're somebody that is committed to setting yourself up for success, try a few different things out. And so going to the sort of simplicity of my morning routine, first of all, I don't have an alarm clock. I'm kind of lucky enough that I don't need one, but I do naturally tend to wake up early. I go to bed early, I try and wind down, I put my phone on aeroplane mode. Sometimes I'll listen to something on my phone, like a podcast I've downloaded or something like that. But it goes on aeroplane mode, it goes on charge, it's not reaching distance to the bed, and I just kind of relax and hopefully fall asleep fairly early. I don't have problems sleeping. I tend to get a good night's sleep without too much effort. I'm really lucky for that, for those of us that do get that. Not trying to rub it in for those that don't, but I am kind of grateful for that in my life, that I have tended to always be a good sleeper. But then when I wake up again, I do not touch, this is the first thing I want to stress, I do not touch my phone for about half an hour. When you're in business and you're doing things, it's very tempting to pick up your phone, it's very tempting to look at your emails. Maybe if you're in a role where email is important and text messages are important, it's very tempting to do that. But in life, I found that kind of stuff is Russian roulette. You're either going to get super great stuff, positive stuff, but as often as not, you're going to get stuff that gets you down. It's not particularly positive. Maybe it's someone that's mad at you. And so, I try and avoid my phone for the first 30, don't try, I do avoid my phone for a minimum of 30 minutes. Go straight to the kitchen, I get a glass of water, a pint of water. Something that I've been doing for many years now, but something I will share with you is not going for the coffee, as tempting as it can be if you're a coffee drinker. You're dehydrated, you've been asleep for 7-8 hours maybe. Water is what you need, and what I found is that compounded over the first few months of me doing it, I noticed my energy raising significantly, but I also noticed improvements in my skin. Kind of important when as you start to get a bit older. I'm 37. Can't believe I'm saying that, because the last 10 years are just, yeah. I've just benefits like that. But the primary thing is that energy. You want to sort of, feel not lethargic when you wake up. And I can say I've got more energy when I wake up at 37 than I did at 27. I think it's a combination of diet, but that water thing was really noticeable for me. Then I turn on the kettle, I have my green tea, and then as I made the green tea, I go and take my shower or wash if I've showered the evening before. And that's when I go into the next step, which is gratitude. Now, gratitude, I think everyone's heard of it, they talk about it, some people have tried it. I think it's like underrated. I know it's kind of one of those, it's not cliche, but it's something that kind of every personal development guru speaks of. You've got to be grateful in the mornings. It really is so important. If I wake up and I'm in a bit of a crappy mood, or I'm just not feeling it, by the time I've finished my shower and done my gratitude and really thought about the things that I'm grateful for, it completely changes my frame of mind, and it elevates every sort of positive emotion that you can possibly have. The other thing is I keep my gratitude really simple. So I think of 3 to 5 things, and I always keep it as relevant to the day before. So I don't necessarily be grateful for my year or something overly fancy or anything like that. Sometimes it might be, but generally speaking, it's really simple things. So this morning, for example, I was grateful for hanging out with our team, who are also my friends, and being able to have some competitive time with them last night. We went bowling, so I was grateful for that. I was grateful for winning. I'll throw that one out there. I'm a bit of a competitive guy. Don't like losing. I'm competitive. Love winning, terrible loser. So I was grateful for not losing and smashing those guys. Alex, if you ever see this video, JJ, Rich, Justin, just throwing that one out there, winner. And the other thing is I really think about things as simple as I was grateful for. I sent a text message to a family member yesterday, just telling them how much I appreciate them, and I was grateful for them in my life. I was also grateful for the weather, the fact that I am waking up in such lovely surroundings around, the water and everything else, my environment. And, environment's such an important thing, and you don't always get to wake up on the water with the pool, or you might be traveling, or you might be in a home that's not your ideal home right now, but you're not a tree. You can move and you can change your surroundings, and so whether you have to go to your favourite coffee shop, or whether you make an effort to sort of change the surroundings, you play some nice music or whatever else, these little simple things make such a big difference to your day. So I just sort of check in with myself on the things that I'm grateful for and keep it really, really simple. It's not always things like I'm grateful for my amazing mum, or my amazing girlfriend, or my amazing friend. Sometimes it's like that, but I try and keep it more specific to something that happened the day before. It's very rare you won't be able to find 3 things that you're grateful for. So that I talk about that in depth from a perspective of, I think it's really probably the most powerful part of my morning routine, especially on the days where I'm just not feeling it. Then from there, this is some sort of productivity stuff that really works for me. I tend to know what I've got to get done in my day. I work or plan on things the evening before. I tend to sort of do that as the last thing. It helps me sort of put things down on paper and rest at night without sort of thinking, oh, I've got to get that done tomorrow, oh, I've got to get that done. But by sort of doing a mental dump, if you like, on paper, it enables me to just rest better. And then I've got sort of the things ahead of the day that I need to be working on. Now, something else I want to share with you is that I then pick out 3 things on that list that will make me feel really accomplished if I get those done in my day. We all know how these to-do lists work. They grow, they're never ending, and they're overwhelming. And so for me, it's like, well, what 3 things of the things that I want to get done, whether it's today or just my general to-do things, would make me feel really accomplished today? And those 3 things then effectively become the priority. Sometimes it's a personal thing, sometimes it's a simple thing like sending a text message, sometimes it's a more detailed thing, a long phone call that I need to do, or reach out to a partner or something like that, in business. Something it might be that I've got to get done that I don't really feel like doing, but I say to myself, rather than thinking, oh, I've got to get that done, it's like, how good will I feel at the end of the day if I get that done? And I found that to be the #1 productivity hack in my life, because every day I do that, I get those 3 things done almost 99% of the time. One of those things today was I wanted to do another video for YouTube. I'm trying to sort of get myself back into doing video, and I was like, I want to get a video done. I'm in nice surroundings, enjoy it, and whip out the camera, which I'm going to do a little bit more frequently now. Other things that I do after I've done that is sort of get myself up and move. Now, it used to be as specific as the gym and my pre-gym shake, smoothie. And again, what I was finding is that that's not something I was able to do every single day, especially when I'm traveling, or if I've got something really busy in the mornings, or whatever else. And that pressure of making it a stuck thing in my routine would often make me feel like I failed my day. So I just have a degree of movement, stretching, moving around. Sometimes it's walking around my garden at home. This morning I was just pacing around the bloody house, just up and down this area by the pool, around the house here. It's a nice space. You can actually walk around the lake here. I haven't walked around the whole thing, but I walked around about half of it, well, less than half, to about over there. I don't know if you can even see that well. And just move. And that's pretty much my routine. When I'm moving, I'm listening to 10 minutes of something positive, motivating. Maybe it's an audio book I'm working my way through. I know I'm not going to get through the whole thing, but I just listen to 10 minutes of it. Normally a random section of it. So, I play the audio book and I just go to 10 minutes and just listen to 10 minutes. If I know it's a book that's, productive or business related or family related or life related, it's something that I actually want to consume. that's one of the things I love about audiobooks, because you don't always have to get through it in one shot. You can just listen to random pieces and take insight. And that is my routine. That's as simple as that. I can get it done in about half an hour. I can get it done every day. It doesn't matter where I am in the world, I'm going to get it done. There's no excuses. There's no reason why I can't get it completed. It works so well for me. And I think, something as specific as a routine is very individual. It needs to be custom to you. You need to use all your self-awareness around you, the way you are in the mornings, the things that work for you. Maybe it's music, maybe it's yoga. That's not what it is for me. Mine are, things as simple as, like I say, having a little stroll around. But really figure out what is right for you. I would say if you do that for 7 days, if this isn't something that you do, you will never want to turn back, because it will make such a difference to the productivity of your day, the mindset going into the day, the positivity going into the day productivity going into the day, etc. And it's just so good for your well-being, your quality of life. And if it becomes a habit, which it should do, quality of your life is a reflection of the quality of your habits, and I think that's a damn good habit. But yeah, that's about all I've got to say about to head out for a massage. I'm super excited for that. I haven't had one for a while. And then dinner out tonight, meeting up with some friends and members, and that's about it. Another good day. Over and out. See you in another video. I'm trying to commit to posting more regularly on my YouTube channel. I've not put a lot of thought into the overall strategy right now, so it's going to be pretty random. Let me know if you like this stuff. Like, subscribe, leave me any comments if there's anything. And share this video if you think it will help anyone. If you think there's something in here that might be positive for someone else, I'd appreciate that, and maybe they will too. All right, over and out, and take care.